Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Byron Vasquez Jr. I'm a Los Angeles-based actor, and here you're going to find personal stories of my own journey as an actor, as well as tips and tricks and other acting-related content. Today's video is about my experience filming my first national commercial. So, without further ado, let's roll the camera and action. One afternoon, I received an email from my agent who said I got a commercial audition for Pine Sol. They needed an everyday husky man who could dance and lip sync to a song. The purpose of the commercial was going to be a man who was going to be cleaning the bathroom while dancing and singing. The problem was that the audition was on a Tuesday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. and I already had work scheduled at that time, so I would have to give back my work, lose money to go to this audition. Thus far, I had been auditioning for different commercials and I didn't get any of them. I've been rejected by all of them. So I asked my dad, hey dad, do you think it's a good idea for me to go to this audition? And he told me, you know what, you have not really booked any commercials and you're gonna lose money if you take this audition, so just go to work. And I thought about it and I said, you know, yes, it's true, I will lose money, but acting is what I really want to do. And I made a goal that I would take every audition, or I would go to every audition I get, regardless if I don't get it, because who knows, this one might be the one. With that, he agreed. He said, all right, you should go to the audition. So I went. It was a Tuesday afternoon at 2:30, and the audition was in Hollywood. When I entered the office, it was full of people. They were shooting two versions. They were shooting a guy version and a female version. And there was people of all different ethnicities, different sizes, different everything. And that's when I started to get really nervous. I went to the assistant to sign in, where they told me that the song that we were going to use was Mi Gente by J Balvin. They told us, don't worry really about the memorizing the lyrics, just do your best dancing. So I got on my phone, I looked at the lyrics, and I tried to memorize as much as I could. After waiting for a little bit, my name was called. I went into a casting room, and in the room was one man and one camera. He had me stand my mark, slate my name. Then he told me, I'm gonna play the music and you're just gonna go for it. And in 3, 2, 1, boom, he played the music. I just kind of went for it. I just started dancing in the room and doing all the freestyle that I could, and then he cut. He said, thank you very much, just like that, and that was it. That was my audition. I left the audition room feeling like, hey, that's just another commercial that I didn't get. Oh well, whatever. I finally checked my emails. It was Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. and I received an email from my agent telling me, congratulations, you got a call back for the commercial. I thought, yes, the call back for the commercial, all right. And it said it was tomorrow at 2:30 in the afternoon. Tomorrow, Thursday, 2:30, perfect. I was going to take advantage of Wednesday to go to work and then also to rehearse for the audition. So I go to work Wednesday, and maybe I come home around 5:30, and I make my dinner, and I sit down in front of the TV to decompress. I get a text message from my agent which said, hey Byron, how come you didn't go to your audition? To which I replied, it's not today, it's tomorrow. He said, no, it was today at 2:30. What I realized when I checked my emails on Wednesday morning, I assumed that the email came on Wednesday and that tomorrow meant Thursday, but the email came on Tuesday night, so it meant tomorrow was Wednesday. And I was crapping bricks. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe I missed this opportunity. I jumped off the couch. I told my agent I'm on my way to the audition. Let them know I'm on my way. I ran to my car. Where I lived versus where the audition was taking place in Hollywood would take me an hour in rush hour traffic. My agent said that they finished the casting sessions at 6 o'clock, but he was going to try to contact them to see what he could do. I'm on the freeway in traffic, and I'm calling a friend of mine, telling them I'm so stupid for not knowing the right date of my audition. They're going to look at me as unprofessional. I'm certainly not going to book this job. Then my agent messaged me back and said that, oh, I told them that you were stuck on set, but that you're on your way and they'll wait for you. It was around 6:30 finally when I got to Hollywood When I walked into the casting office, it was empty. There was nobody there. But one gentleman comes out and he says, take about 5 minutes to compose yourself and then we'll bring you in. I took those 5 minutes, I composed myself, they brought me in, and in the room, this time was full. It was a room full of maybe 10 to 15 people. It was the casting director, it was the director for the Pine Sol commercial, it was the producers, it was the marketing team, it was everybody. There was a camera there, and then the session runner told me, we're gonna play the music and you're just gonna dance. Ready? 3, 2, 1, play the music. And I danced. A couple minutes later, thank you very much, keep dancing. And they escorted me out. And I thought, oh my gosh, I blew this commercial audition. I'm not gonna get the job. I called my friend back in the car, and on the way there, I got a message from my agent who told me, Byron, you were put on a veil. Being put on a veil means that you are at the final rounds of the decision-making process. It's between you and another actor, but you have to keep your schedule open for the shooting dates. That was a Wednesday evening. Friday afternoon, I was bar hopping with a friend, and I get a text message from my agent, and he said, Byron, I'm going to make your Friday because you just booked the job. And just like that, I had booked my very first national commercial, The Rehearsal. So in between the audition and the day of shooting, we had a rehearsal date. On that day, we were going to meet the production team and do the wardrobe fitting as well as a rehearsal.
On my way to a fitting right now because I booked the commercial that I auditioned for last week.
I got to the rehearsal space, and there was a girl there who was doing the girl version of the commercial, and the production team as well as the Pine Sol marketing team, and we were able to put together the wardrobe that we were going to be using on the shoot date, which was a week out. After we had finished doing the wardrobe, they had escorted us into the dance room in order for us to do the rehearsal.
Guys, well, my fitting is done, but now I have rehearsals, same place, so I went to put my clothes away, and I'm going back to do rehearsals for this commercial. So we'll see how it goes.
Now, the girls was a little bit more choreographed. We had 2 choreographers there, and hers was a choreographed dance that they did in the commercial. But when it was my turn to rehearse, they told me, just freestyle, just go, we'll turn the music on, and you just dance. And so I did that. The entire Pine Sol team came into the dance room to watch me. They asked me one more time to do the dancing again. And I was a little bit nervous at this point because, you know, they wanted me to dance just for them, and so I did.
All right, guys, I am done with rehearsals, and I'm going home. I shoot on Friday, and I'm sweaty because I did a lot of dancing for this thing. It's gonna be great.
A week later was the shooting day. The shooting day was on a rainy Friday morning. I remember it was sometime in late February, early March.
Today's the big day. I get to film my commercial, and I have to go all the way to Santa Clarita right now. My call time's at 8:15, and I'll try my best to kind of film throughout the day, so you guys could kind of be, you know, come along on this journey with me. I don't know how much I'll be able to film or what they will and will not let me film, but I'll do my best. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Which means I had to wake up around 5 o'clock in the morning, which was the easiest time I'd ever had waking up at 5 o'clock because I was so excited. This was my dreams coming true. I mean, I got to work as an actor, and on the call sheet, my name was the top name on the call sheet, which means that you are the most important character of the day. And I thought to myself, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life, this opportunity. I'm really excited about it. So I had no problems waking up at 5 a.m. I parked in the parking designated area where you would meet for breakfast, and the shuttle would shuttle you over to the location where we would to shoot. And I got there and I had my breakfast, and then I got a call from the production team saying, hey, we need you on set as soon as you finish your breakfast, and as soon as you can get there, please make your way to set. So I said, sure, no problem. I got my breakfast sandwich and I went on the bus or the shuttle van.
This is my first commercial.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you usually do?
Indie films.
Indie?
Yeah, like independent films.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is my first commercial stuff.
Like
and they shuttled me over to the set. It was about 2 or 3 minutes away from the parking. And as we were pulling into the suburban neighborhood where we were shooting in the house, I noticed trailers and crew members and the house that we're going to be using was covered with lights and cameras, and that's when it became real to me. I'm shooting a national commercial. The streets was full of like 3 or 4 different trailers, and I got out of the shuttle, and the production assistant escorted me to the first trailer, the production trailer. So when I got in there, I did some paperwork signing, and then from there, they took me to my trailer where I put my stuff down. And then from there, I was escorted to the hair and makeup.
This is, I'm in makeup right now. This is, what was your name again?
Jen.
Jen, this is Jen.
There's Mark. There's
Mark.
Kat.
Well, it's too late. Everybody say hi to my Instagram.
Hi, Instagram.
Yeah,
And after they touched me up, I went to the wardrobe trailer.
wardrobe.
It was about maybe 2 minutes of me waiting in my trailer, and they needed me on set. So the production assistants escorted me to the house that we were going to be filming. As we got into the house, it was surreal, I want to say, because the entire house was taken over by the production. There was Video Village on the first floor, and the executive team was on the first floor watching. You had the ground was taped with cardboard so things wouldn't get messy or things wouldn't get scratched. There was plastics on the wall so nobody would scratch anything. And when I got to the upstairs, it was just full of crew members. There was crew members, there was a cameraman, there was bogoshy going on, there was the director. And the director of the commercial, by the way, his name was James Leese. There was the 2 choreographers that were there for us on the rehearsal day, and they were just there for support. They said, if you need any ideas or if you get stuck on anything, we're just here to support you.
Pinkus.
I heard.
So,
When I got onto the set, the director was talking to the cameraman, telling him how he wanted to be shot. And that's when a fear swept over me. As an actor, you're always getting rejections. You're always getting no. And we prepare ourselves for that because we expect to get no's, but we don't expect a yes. So when you get the yes, you don't really have time to process what it means. So when I got to set and I saw the cameras, the production team, the director, everyone was focusing their attention at me, I wondered, wow, can I do this? This is a lot of pressure. What did I get myself into? I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to perform what they want. What if I fail? And all these things were going through my head. And the problem was I couldn't turn to a single person there to let them know that I was scared. To follow the proverbial adage, fake it till you make it. The director came up to me and said, okay, I want you to go from this point to that point to this point, but in between there you can just dance your way, and that's all. That's what I need. I said, okay. I stood in the corner. He says, playback. And they played the song that we eventually used on the commercial, and action. And I freestyled everything I could do, everything I could think of from that point to the entire commercial, basically. And I tried to use every single skill that I ever acquired in my life. I did martial arts, I did gymnastics, I did hip-hop dancing, I did cheerleading. Everything that I ever did, I used it in this commercial. That all the skills that I was still able to do, I used it in this commercial. And each time, it was different takes. So it was about 4 hours of dancing, 4 hours of going stop and starting from the beginning and doing it again. And I didn't want to repeat the same thing twice. So I'd always try to come up with something new. And that was the first 4 hours. But it was the thrill of my life. After those first 4 hours, we broke for lunch. But this was my first time working on a SAG commercial set, and we had an amazing spread for our craft services and an amazing spread for lunch. After we broke for lunch, we went back and we did 2 hours of almost the same thing, but this time it was different. It was the photography and stills for any print publications that they were going to use or anything print. So it was basically another director who was a photography director who had me kind of do the same exact movements, the same exact dance, but instead of filming it, they were going to take pictures. That was a separate job. It was a modeling contract that I had apart from the commercial. So I got 2 contracts. I got 2 jobs in one day, and I got 2 different pay rates for the day, which is pretty cool. After that time, it was around 4 o'clock to the rest of the evening. We just filmed insert shots. We filmed me putting the glove on. We filmed me flicking open the bottle. We filmed me pouring the bottle, getting the rag wet. All those little insert shots that they needed throughout the day. That took the rest of the 4 hours. And then around 8 o'clock, we wrapped. It was a surreal moment wrapping because it was exactly what I've been waiting for a long time to have this experience. And I was so happy that I was able to shoot this commercial. It was exhausting. I was exhausted, but I had the time of my life. And that was my experience filming the commercial. The aftermath. The commercial aired the next month in early April, and I knew it had been released because I was constantly checking the Pine Sol's YouTube channel, and it finally showed up on their channel. And then throughout the day, I started getting messages from family and friends letting me know that they had seen my commercial on television. That same day, my dad told me that he was watching a Spanish channel and they had aired my commercial in Spanish, and my mom was watching a similar Spanish channel and they aired my commercial in Spanish. Later did I find out that the commercial was actually cut in English, Spanish, and French because it was aired in the United States, in Canada, and in Mexico. Interestingly enough, it actually aired in Canada for the longest amount of time. I started getting messages from people that I didn't even know. They were looking, they were finding my Facebook, they were sending me messages. And people were re-uploading the commercials onto YouTube, and they were doing their own little tweaks and edits, which was cool. But 2 things. One, I never saw the commercial on TV. I waited, I sat down in front of the TV, and I would wait and wait and wait for the commercial to show up on the channels that I knew that had already been shown, and I never got to see it. On the television show. I mean, I saw it on YouTube, but I never got to see it on TV. I thought because this was such a popular commercial and it was airing for about 2.5 years, I thought, wow, I'm going to get recognized for sure. And the summer of 2019 and 18, I was traveling a lot around the East Coast, and I never, not once, got recognized for the commercial. One amazing thing happened. In 2019, while I was traveling in Montreal, I was there for about 17 days. I decided to go to a Walmart because I had never seen a Walmart in French. So I thought, what a propitious moment to see a Walmart in French. And I was walking down the aisles, and suddenly I was shocked, taken by surprise. I had yelled out, "Oh my gosh." And right in front of me was this big old Pine Sol box filled with Pine Sol bottles and my picture on it in French. And I stood there for 5 minutes just looking at it in awe. And there was just a couple coming by me, and I was like, "C'est moi, c'est moi," and they didn't believe me. I couldn't believe that I'm, from Los Angeles, and now I'm in Montreal, Canada, and my face is right there. That was one of the biggest moments, takeaway moments from that experience. The other thing that I got out of it was because of the income that I generated doing Pine Sol, I was able to pay my SAG dues. But I'm not going to get into that because I do want to make a full story on how I became SAG. What I learned from doing this commercial is that I took a chance. I almost didn't go to the commercial audition because I thought I was not going to get the job and that I was going to make money anyway going to work. But I decided to go to this audition, and it actually ended up being the one that paid dividends for 2.5 years. It was an amazing time working on this commercial. The other thing that I learned from this experience was that some things are just meant to be for you. This commercial, for whatever reason, it just felt like it was meant to be for me. Like everything just aligned itself for me to be able to have this experience. There's been no other project that I've done before or after or since that has ever felt that was mine so far. Thank you very much for listening to my story on my experience working on my first SAG national commercial. Please like, comment, and subscribe on my channel where I will be doing more acting related content. Until next time, that's a wrap.